هو كان عم بيقول انه انت لما كنت عم تحكي عم تقول ان الامم المتحده هي اللي خذلت سوريا.
غادرت سوريا؟
خذلت سوريا الامم المتحده، ولكن كمان لازم نعترف انه في قوتين عظمى هي لازم نعترف انه في قوتين عظمى هي امريكا وروسيا يلي عندهم حق الفيتو، يلي هن لهلق ما قدروا يقعدوا مع بعض ويلاقوا حل لسوريا. فكيف بنجيبهم؟ كيف نقدر نجيبهم على طاولة الحوار ويتفقوا مع بعض؟
هم على كل الطاولات.
He says the US and Russia are on all the tables. They're having, I mean, they are always having non-stop dialogue, but we have to try to find what would bring them together to find, I mean, how would satisfy both of their interest. And that's the time where we'll find a solution for Syria.
ولا يقبلون أقل من هذا.
Yes, he said, trust me, there's a continuous dialogue between the Russians and the US, and there's a lot of areas where they work together, but unfortunately I think there has been some disagreement regarding Syria and both of their interest of what do they want in Syria.
لكن هؤلاء الكبار معهم حق، لأن الحرب حق. طالما الحرب مشروع، إذا كان له شرعا فهو حق، وإن لم يكن له شرعا كالإرهاب فهو غير حق.
But you know that now there is war, and during times of war it's very difficult to the thing that could bring them together during war, it could be the fight, for example, of Islamic extremism. So we have to find a common point for both of their countries where they could cooperate and work together. That would be a good point, a starting point for them to bring them to one table and to finally find one solution that they could see an eye to eye on it.
الحرب ليست عدو للسلام.
But I don't believe that war is the enemy of peace.
بل هي ذراع السلام.
We could say philosophically it's arm, the arm,
الذي يضرب الفوضى.
The arms that usually it's used to bring peace.
نحن في حرب لها لونين أو لونين.
So we are
لون الحرب السلام ولون الحرب الإرهاب.
Yeah, so we are having two wars now. One war that hopefully will bring that at the end of it we're going to have peace in Syria, and on the other hand there is a war of against Islamic extremism, and this is it's a continuous war.
الحرب مقدسة. الحرب مقدس. والفوضى لا نستطيع أن نعيش معها. تحتاج إلى حرب لنحقق السلام.
He said we have to have peace to get rid of this chaos that we have today in Syria.
عندما يأتون إرهابيين لا تعرف من هم، ويقتلون ويأخذون ويصلبون ويريدون أن يقيموا كيانات على حساب رقاب الناس وموت الناس. هذه فوضى.
When you have people coming from 83 different countries to fight in Syria, this is what we call today chaos. They're all fighting for different agendas under different groups, and extending arms for different countries, all having proxy wars in Syria. So this is chaos, and this is the chaos that we have to stop right away.
عند ذلك لا يسعنا إلا أن يمد السلام يده الذي هو الحرب ويقتل الفوضى.
This is why it's very important that we extend the arm for peace at this time. نعطيهم دور للتانيين بقى.
ومن هنا يأتي تقديس الحرب.
لا لازم نعطي دور للتانيين بقى. Would you like to say something?
No. Okay. Let's back to the audience then. Next question or comments? This is a chance multilaterally to engage. Really good format. Yeah, okay, Joseph?
Hi, thank you. Joseph from California, thank you for your time. My question is along the lines of justice being brought upon the the rulers that are bringing violence and killing to the countries, what that will do for closure, whether it be in Bosnia or in the future, or how that will help heal Syria. It's basically bringing war criminals being tried, and what that will do for bringing about what this justice will do for the future.
To je zapravo temeljno pitanje.
That's fundamental question.
Da li to je zapravo temeljno pitanje.
Fundamental question.
Dakle, da li red može da zamijeni haos?
Whether order can replace chaos.
Moje mišljenje je da taj proces nikad konačno neće biti završen.
My opinion is that process will never be finally over.
Ali da prosto ima smisla boriti se za to i da je to jedino što ima smisla.
But it's worth fighting for it because that's the only thing that has meaning.
Evo primjer veze između Bosne i Hercegovine i Sirije.
For example, connection between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Syria.
Nekoliko stotina dobrovoljaca vojnika iz Bosne i Hercegovine koji su naši državljani ratuju u Siriji.
Few hundred of soldiers from Bosnia and Herzegovina, citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina, fight war in Syria.
Kao dobrovoljci na jednoj od zaraćenih strana.
As volunteers.
Na nekoj od zaraćenih strana, da.
As volunteers at one of the.
Ne jednoj, nekoj. Na nekoj od zaraćenih strana. Ima više strana, znači na jednoj ili drugoj.
Ja, to je one of warring sides.
Dobro. Neki su ratovali za ISIL.
Some warred for ISIL.
Neki za Asada.
Some for Assad.
Neki za opoziciju.
Some for opposition.
I onda smo mi donijeli zakon po kome je krivično djelo, po kome je ratovanje u drugoj zemlji predstavlja krivično djelo.
And that's when we adopted a law that waging wars in foreign country is a criminal act.
I onda smo ih hapsili, osuđivali i slali na robiju.
Then we arrested them, convicted them and sent them to jail.
Međutim, sve dok se nije smirio sukob u Siriji oko ISIL-a,
but not until the confrontation and conflict about ISIL in Syria settled down,
to nije bila dovoljno efikasna mjera.
That wasn't sufficiently enough measure.
Sada imamo situaciju da nešto preko 100 porodica se nalazi u Siriji sa potpuno nejasnim statusom.
Now we have a situation that we have somewhat over 100 families in Syria with unclear status.
Oni su bili vojnici, poginuli su, ostale su im supruge i djeca.
Though they were soldiers, they're killed and their wives and children left there.
Ti ljudi nemaju uopšte pravni status, to su djeca rođena u Siriji.
Those people have no legal status. They are born in Syria.
Zašto to govorim?
Why I'm saying this?
Zbog toga što ljudi trebaju da shvate da je svaki red, da je najgori red bolji od bilo kakvog haosa.
People must understand that even the worst order is better than the best chaos.
I da bilo kakav red daje mogućnost da se u miru rješavaju problemi.
And that order, any type of order, gives solution that things are settled in peace.
Jer kad stvari prerastu u ratni konflikt, tada jednostavno muze začute.
Because when things turn into conflicts, then muses go silent.
Naše iskustvo sa pravnom državom u Bosni i Hercegovini ima jedan ozbiljan problem.
Our experience with legal system in Bosnia and Herzegovina has one problem.
Dakle, to je korupcija.
That's corruption.
I ta korupcija u suštini najviše podriva temelje pravne države.
And that corruption is the main reason that undermines the foundations of a legal state.
Možda je to čak i posljednji izazov za funkcionisanje našeg političkog sistema. Ako ga pozitivno riješimo, može se reći da će u zemlji postojati svaki oblik stabilnosti.
And maybe that's the last challenge for functioning of our legal system. If we solve it properly, then we will solve
najozbiljnije probleme.
even more serious problems.
Ja pretpostavljam da korupcija ima i u Siriji i na Bliskom istoku, tako da su to vjerovatno zajednički problemi.
I assume that there's corruption even in Syria and other countries, so I guess that's all our common problems.
If you could please stand and also
Of
introduce
course,
yourself.
of course. I'm Alexandra Sich, I'm international mediator. I would like to ask first Mr. Tadic, what is being done to avoid conflicts? Because of course you also have the different cultures. I wanted to ask you first, before, it's what are you doing at school with the education to get more a universal education of soft skills, of conflict resolution at school, communication together, and getting rid of trauma and frustration. Yes, and I also had something for Mr. Assad. Yes, but maybe you first answer
Okay.
mine,
Yeah,
and
because
then I
of
will
the-
ask another question.
Pričao sam vam danas o tome koliko svaki od naroda želi da prisvoji što više kulturnih elemenata za sebe.
I told you today how each of peoples want to appropriate the most they can for themselves
Slično i sa obrazovanjem.
in terms of culture. And the same is also for the education.
Svaki od naroda želi da ima što veći utjecaj na obrazovni sistem.
Each of peoples want to have most possible effect on education.
Zbog toga su u Bosni i Hercegovini u njenim različitim dijelovima različiti školski programi.
That's why in Bosnia and Herzegovina, in different parts of the country are different parts of education system.
U nekim dijelovima gdje su većina Bošnjaci, muslimani i Hrvati katolici, imate situaciju da u jednoj školi hrvatska djeca idu prije podne u školu, a bošnjačka djeca poslije podne u školu ili obrnuto.
In some parts of Bosnia and Herzegovina, where Croats, Catholics and Bosniaks Muslims live and go to school together, you have a situation where Croat children go in the afternoon to the school and Bosniak children go in the morning to the school.
Taj fenomen se zove dvije škole pod jednim krovom.
That phenomena is called two schools under one roof.
Dakle, postoji odvojenost.
So there's separation.
I ne postoji većinska volja da se to promijeni.
And there's no majority will for that to be changed.
Jasno vam je da u takvim uslovima školski program koji uči rješavanje konflikata prosto nije prisutan.
You then understand that the curriculum just doesn't exist in those schools that can solve problem.
Koji uči rješavanju konflikata.
That it teaches us how to resolve conflict.
Drugi problem našeg obrazovanja je što je ono preambiciozno.
Another problem of our education is that it's too overly ambitious.
Mi imamo obrazovanje rađeno po ugledu na bivšu Jugoslaviju.
Our education follows the education of former Yugoslavia.
Koja je imala fabriku automobila, fabriku aviona.
That used to have a factory of cars, a factory of planes.
Koja je gradila termoelektrane, hidroelektrane, nuklearne centrale.
That built thermal plants, electricity plants, that built nuclear plants.
I tako proizvodimo u školama puno ljudi koji znaju vrlo složene poslove, ali mi nemamo za njih radna mjesta.
So we produce many people who have all those skills, but we don't have working places for them, jobs.
S druge strane imamo problem, nemamo kovače, nemamo obućare, nemamo šnajdere.
On the other hand, we don't have the smithers, the shoemakers, the tailors.
Ono što nam je potrebno.
What we actually need.
I onda dobijete frustriranog mladića ili djevojku
And then you get frustrated young boy or girl
koji nema posao,
who is unemployed,
ima mnogo znanja o sopstvenom narodu, koliko je dobar i o tome koliko su loši drugi narodi.
I have a lot of knowledge about my own people, how good they are,
I kako su loši oni drugi narodi.
and how bad other peoples are,
I onda ga pustite u svijet.
and then you just let it into the world.
Dakle, ne završe oni svi u konfliktu. Većina ne završi u konfliktu.
Not all of them end up in conflict.
Većina ne završi u konfliktu.
Most of them don't.
Ali im treba neko vrijeme da shvate realnu svijet u kome žive.
But it takes them some time to grasp the reality of the world they live in.
I to je za njih izgubljeno vrijeme.
And for them, that's wasted time.
And you got a question also for Mr. Assad? Okay. Maybe as a final question.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, I just had a question. It's a bit linked to this question. As citizens or professionals, what do you think we could do for the crisis in Syria?
قال شو برأيك بشكل عملي اليوم فينا نعمل، شو برأيك أنت بشكل عملي اليوم فينا نعمل لنحل الصراع السوري، لنحل يصير في حل. نعم. شو شكل عملي اليوم
هذا
ايه شكل عملي شو فيهم يعملوا هن اللي يساعدوا كمواطنين
مو اليوم
ايه كمواطنين
مواطنين سوريين.
لا كمواطنين هي اللي عم تسأل ولا غيرها ولا نحن اللي جالسين
يعني شو نعمل هنا دي شو يعملوا؟
ايه
يعني نحن جميعا إنسان، بالتالي نبحث عن الإنسان في كل مكان.
كيف نعمل؟
نبحث مع الإنسان أينما كان ونقف إلى جانبه وإلى إذا مظلوم وأينما كان نقف معه أينما كان. وبالتأكيد نحن معه ضد الإرهاب وكل ضد الظلم. أي ظلم في الدنيا يأتي من أي جهة نحن معه.
بس شو بدها تعمل عمليا هن شو فيهم يعملوا؟
هن يعني أقل ما يمكن ماني يعني أنا يعني نحن يعني أنا وياكم والعالم كله نحن جهة، ونحن نريد أن ننتسب إلى شيء اسمه العهد على أن نكون معا حتى ننتصر على الإرهاب.
بس من خلال الأمم المتحدة، من خلال شو؟ من خلال أي عمل فينا يشتغلوه؟
الأمم المتحدة هي اليوم تعمل، ليست هي تعمل، لكنها يبدو أن هنالك أمور غائبة، كل الغيب لا نعرفها، قد تكون حقا وقد تكون غير حق.
Yes, we have to, for example, those of us who have, who have connections to the media, if we're able to through the media, through think tanks, different organizations, through the petitions and other, through the European Union, through the United Nations, through each local government, national government, to try to push them to talk more, and not only to go and make conferences, empty conferences that at the end of the day make nothing. They all go, they talk, and they criticize and they condemn the actions, but nothing comes out of it. At the end of the day, they all go back as you know, and life continues, but the Syrian people continue on being casualties day by day.
But that's the problem. Very often you have to go with this sort of crisis around politicians. So you
Yes.
need to get citizens movement created.
Of course,
A grassroots movement.
of course.
And that's what I mean. What are the right contexts? Where could you start a grassroots movement exactly? Get people together and get working groups together. Do you have any channels there?
I think, you know, we personally, I could tell you, for example, we're trying through, for example, my foundations and other related foundations like the ICD, Iman, and FIS in Spain, and many different foundations to work together to try to promote those, a peaceful solution in Syria. That doesn't mean the United Nations is listening. We're trying our best. I've met with many European parliamentarians, with many British parliamentarians, German parliamentarians, went to China, went to Russia, to the US, and spoke to so many people at many different organizations. But what happens after that? It goes, some people speak about it, talk, they say, yes, great ideas. Really, last time, for example, I went to Moscow, the great idea, this, maybe we could do that. And right after, they decided to have the Sochi conference. But the Sochi conference is not really a solution, because it's just a solution for themselves that would keep the Russians' interest. I mean, we're not competing for conferences. We really want, oh, my conference was much better than yours, but at the end of the day, this is what they have. We have to be able to work together, to bring them together, as you said, through grassroots movements, through trying to convince media to carry our messages. Again, unfortunately, as I said this morning, the media has been, in a way, biased for a reason or another, maybe because they'll prefer President Obama over Trump or whatever, they have this thing going on. I was telling the students this morning, it's not normal that like TV channel like CNN that I used to watch all the time, now whenever you open it, it's the only subject it has is Trump did this, Trump did that. There's many things happening around the world. Kids are dying, many, famine, refugees all over. We have enough of listening of what Trump has done and what he's, what girl he met and other things like that. So we have to be able to carry our message. We have to be able to convince the main media, it's time to solve the Syrian issue. It's not time to be biased towards any side. Try to solve the Syrian conflict, and of course, and fighting together all Islamic extremism at the same time, because you can never have a democratic solution, if it includes Islamic extremism. We want something that's completely different. They want Sharia law, as you know. Some of them are in Europe, they want Sharia law. Some of them in the UK are asking for Sharia law. Could you imagine those who are in Syria? They believe in the Islamic State from all over the Muslim world. Not only in Syria and the Arab world, but including Xinjiang in China to Andalusia in Spain, because they believe that it belongs to them, that they were there once, so Andalusia in Spain should be part of the Islamic State. And this is where we are today. So hopefully you could help, all of you could help into spreading this message and try to, if we could work together, not after this conference, not just disappearing and, if we could really keep contacts and continue on how we could, do conferences and invite each other and bring more people. If you could bring your friends, we bring ours, and try we're one global community today. The former president of Iceland said you cannot just count on a president of a country or someone representing hiding behind a desk or a sign, on his desk. We have to be, as global citizens, to be our own leaders, and each one does his part to be able to achieve, whatever we can. Not only in Syria. I'm sure there are other problems in Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Kurdistan. We could all work together. Kurdistan, Iraq, Kurdistan, the Kurds in Syria, in Turkey. They have the right to actually. My father was the first one who told them that the Kurds have the right to self-determination. Yeah. It's a human right. They have the right to that. And we are here to support them. They're humans. If you are not, if you couldn't even treat them. Any countries has many different sects and religion and ethnic backgrounds. But if they're not treated as equal citizens under the rule of law, then of course they're going to look for having their own country. And this, I think, what happened with the Kurds in Iraq, what's happening with the Kurds all over, because they do not feel they are equal citizens. They feel that they were left alone and left out. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying just to find a way where they could live in peace.
Short comment regarding to you. Actually, on paper or in constitution around the world, I mean, in the Middle East, there is a rights for the minorities. But in implementation, Kurds not become a partner of the states. They are just participation.
But not only the Kurds. You have to know that it's all over the Middle East. We have to be honest about it. You know, in Kuwait, the Bidun in Kuwait, in other each Arabic countries, in Mauritania, you have problems of slavery, for example. You know, in each country, it's not as a government. I'm not saying government. The government, as I said, is the most democratic in the Arab world. You know, but there are some people in the government. It doesn't have. Many times they tell the Mauritanian government has to do something about it, but how could they? They don't have the means. For example, to go in rural areas or all over the country. There are 3 million people spread over, over a million, kilometers. It's impossible to go and, they have, of course, African, ministers. They have others in the government. I met their former ambassador they're not all Arabs, That's not true. But this image that when we want to attack a country, we keep on saying, give false information. As I said, with what they did to Mauritania, for example. It's not the government. It's, yes, there are tribal things that continue to exist. In Syria, there are tribal things that continue to exist. For example, people marrying their young daughters at 9 years old to older 80 years old, a businessman from the Gulf, selling them off in refugee camps in Syria or Lebanon or in Syria. This is very well known. So we have to work together to do that, and I think only by doing that we could finally achieve, something together. We've worked with Mark many times in the past. He's a good friend. We've done a lot of conferences, but other than conferences, I think we should do a lot more to bring, powerful people such as yourself, decision makers, to be able also to support these actions that we've been doing.
We've unfortunately run out of time, but I've asked Ms. Kambla Clark to say a few concluding words to bring the session to a conclude, and hopefully some optimism as well as we look ahead.
I actually think there's been some really interesting discussion.
There's only one of them.
There's some interesting discussion today, but I think in all your deliberation, none of you actually said how you're going to engage with the young people. That is the crux of the matter, because they're the ones who's going to change things, not us. They're the ones who are going to change it. If you remember the issue in the United States about the children dying, got shot, and all those children actually rebelled. Remember that's happened in the United States? I think we have to start going back to the schools, getting young people involved and to be creative mind. And I don't think you should, I would say, I am so pleased I didn't go to a separated school. I went to a school, integrated school. In the UK, we have Islamic schools where, what they do, go to those weekends in the evening, because you need to understand the Korean, you need to understand all those things. So there's nothing wrong with it, but I think children also needs to be integrated at a great understanding amongst each other, because through separation, children start getting mistrust. So I would think, for me, that we have to find a solution, because this is just going on, and there's no solution. And we're going to have a world where there's chaos. In a world, there's just chaos. And we can't have that, because it's not for us, it's for our children, and our children, and our children's children. And that is the issue, really, I would say, to all of us. Whatever we do, let us think of the children of tomorrow. The children of today is the adults of tomorrow. If we prepare the children today, they become good adults of tomorrow. So I think we just need to be mindful. But I agree with you about conferences. I like a task and finish. You do a task, you finish it, and then there's a sign-off. Because coming to conference, unless there is an end product to the conference, you're not gaining anything. So I would say there may be some groups meeting in your individual countries where you have a task group, and that task group determines what the recommendations is, and then you can take them to your ministers, of internal affairs and those committees. And perhaps that's the way you need to, I would say that's the way we need to start. But I do sympathize with the difficulties, both you and, but in your countries, because it is a difficult task. I support many children in Africa. I have a school in Matata, because education is liberation, because tomorrow belongs to the people, provides for it today. To educate is to liberate. So we need to educate our children for them to be liberated. I got 2 daughters in Sudan, 2 young ladies, because I believe that girls should have education. I have a school in the Caribbean. Again, I just think we have to start with the young people. So I would say if you can go think about a task and finish group, start looking at strategies how you can deal with things, and not always talking about conferences. Conferences when you have a solution to bring to this conference. I hope that's useful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.